battle stations because today we are going to take a design from Photoshop and bring it over to Dreamweaver. So let's get started. I'm already going to assume that you have a design done, like completely done, and you want to move it over to Dreamweaver to begin the actual website. You know, HTML, CSS, PHP, what have you. But that's what we're going to do. All we're going to be doing in this tutorial is moving over this slice design that I made in a matter of, 10 minutes. And we're going to move it over to Dreamweaver in the correct format, the proper way. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques too. I'm also going to show you what you would do if this was a transparent background here, how to take care of the background itself, and saving the images appropriately so you can have a repeating background in Dreamweaver and it won't interfere with anything in CSS. But we'll get into that. Basically, let's just slice this up. What you'll notice is I have rulers. These are like guidelines that you can drag, and if you don't know how to get to the rulers tool, you can go to View. You can go to View and then Show, and Guides is on there. You can also show a grid, very useful with the pen tool, but guides that's what it is. Technically they're called guides. I call them guides. I call them rulers, but such is life in the tropics. Anyway, I have them up here, and what I do is I have them equally separating objects. You can see there, I got a square there so that when I make my slice, it's very precise. When I make my slice, it's very precise. Yeah, basically. So, and you'll notice I have it actually here too. Recent feeds, different stuff around the web, you know. I have a jQuery tab, you know, over here. You may actually want to implement this with jQuery. Make this a button one day when you're actually coding it, and you click it and jQuery does a nice little bounce out effect and it opens up a login form from the side. Wouldn't that be really hot? I think it would. So that's why I sliced that, but I also sliced up everything in here. This slice in particular, this long slice, is not really important. That was just a separator. So that's where I'm going to start. That's my signal starting point for each one of these. So what I'm going to do, if I want to make a slice, that's just how I do my guides. If I want to make a slice, I can grab the slice tool over here on the left, or you can hit K on your keyboard, and you drag out a slice by doing this. And basically what a slice is, guys, come on, let me get it on the line. Can I get it on the line? Is it gonna let me? There we go. Basically what a slice is when you port the slice over to a program like Dreamweaver or something like that. Mainly Dreamweaver is the industry standard. It's going to port them over in terms of tables. So everything is going to be properly aligned in HTML tables, and a table data set is going to be per slice, so per image. Basically what it's doing when you export it in Photoshop is going to take each and every one of these individual slices, and instead of it being one large square image, it's going to split the whole image up, depending on the slices, into sub-images, and you can use those in your web design, of course. So that's basically what it does, and it'll make a lot of sense once we actually do it. But let's just continue with the slicing. As I said, I want to take out this jQuery just in case, if you guys would ever want to do that. I'm trying to get as much extra stuff in here as possible. And this is my navigation. Now, rule of thumb for all you web designers out there. Whenever you're actually making the website and you're actually going to slice everything up and bring it over, do not, and I repeat, do not have all the text already up there. All that text in the navigation itself is going to be done in CSS. If you do it properly, it'll be done in CSS, and I hope you do things properly. But you wouldn't actually have the text up there. You want some hover effects, things like that. So and you want it to be very responsive. Responsiveness is the key. So I hope you wouldn't, actually export the JPEGs or PNGs over with the home, about the site, some page, donate buttons, contact, whatever have you. All that text actually up there. You need to make that disappear. And the same goes for like this content down here. This is just all example text, guys. All the text you see on here, except the jQuery tab, and the website logo, which would be in the corner. All the text you see on here is nothing but pure CSS once you actually port it over to Dreamweaver. And if you don't know what CSS is, I highly recommend learning it along with HTML. I'm going to have many future tutorials on HTML and CSS, so don't worry, we're just going to get this ported over properly. So now that I have all my slices done, all my slices correct, I'm going to go to File and come down here to Save for Web. Depending on which version of Photoshop you're in, it may say Save for Web, CS3, it says Save for Web and Devices. So you click that, and now here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Everything here needs to be a PNG, and I will explain to you why. Every modern browser now accepts PNGs as the standard. Well, not the standard, JPEGs are the standard, but they accept and read PNGs in transparency, except the older versions of Internet Explorer. So when you port over images, you want it to either be in JPEG form, not GIF, JPEG form or PNG form. In this case, I have a transparent background here. So I could, if I had a plan to repeat this in terms of content down along the y-axis, I would definitely need to make that transparent or PNG. But I don't. In this case, I'm just going to have a solid, it may be opaque peering, but it's going to go out as a solid JPG. This just all comes with time and experience, guys. So I know that probably didn't make any sense at all. Useless rambling, but for the sake of it, we'll just do this in JPEG, okay? We're just going to do it in JPEG. So I hit Control-A on my keyboard, come up here. It's by default, it's GIF. We're actually going to select JPEG, and you can select the quality, but it's already by default, it should be high, and you're pretty much good. You can up the quality here, it's at 60. I'm dangerous. I'm going to go up to 100% quality, because that's what I want, guys. 100% quality, maximum. Anyway, so I hit save. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to, I'm going to find a folder that I want to export an HTML file to. That's what Adobe Photoshop is going to let me do. It's going to export all our slices in an HTML format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, let's go to YouTube, and then let's go to Tutorials and Photoshop, and the one we're doing right now is Slices. Let's create a new folder called From Photoshop. Let's open that up. Let's call this index.html. All lowercase index, and then go ahead and click Save. And that's it. Photoshop is taking care of it. It's all done. Now, this is where I would say go over to your Dreamweaver program. Alright, so we're in Dreamweaver. How do we import it? File, go on down to Open, and then we're going to go back. I'm going to browse to my YouTube folder. I put it in Tutorials, Photoshop, Slices, From Photoshop, and there it is. There's my index that Photoshop gave me. So I go ahead and I click Open. And there it is, guys. Every slice that we made, you can see I select these images. And these are the images that Photoshop has given us. Hint, hint. So normally, what I would say is export this out without the text in it, and set these to a background and implement your own content via CSS and HTML. That is actually how you have to do it. It's the most appropriate way. But that's not what this tutorial is for. It's just on getting slices over here. So this is all, good stuff. But I am going to cover one more thing, or actually two more things. One, I'm going to show you how to align this. We're going to align our document to the center. If you come up here, you'll see these comments. It says image ready slices, slices.psd. I'm going to type in left arrow, div, align equals center. And then I'm going to give it a space.